So before this video starts, I know that everyone wants to know what's the deal with the C5. Is it going to be done in time for the race on the 28th, the YouTube call out? Well, the short answer is 50-50. I had made calls all day today. I was trying to figure out what's going to end up happening, whether I need to just get a whole new diff altogether assembled, or I can get a stock diff and put new gears in it, and it's been a nightmare. But what it comes down to is, what we're going to end up doing is, since we are aware that the diff is completely broken, the case is completely destroyed, and we also think the output shaft on the transmission is destroyed as well. Well, what we're going to end up needing to do is we need a new output shaft, which is taken care of. That's not an issue. But we also need to get a rear end. Now, the rear end, I have found one, thankfully. It's a stock 342. The car had 390s in it. Now, the problem with that is the car was tuned for 390s. And I can get 390 gears in time. That's not an issue. The problem is installing them. I don't know anybody that can install gears, and I know that C5 differentials are a bit of a pain in the ass. So if anybody's in the DMV area that knows how to re-gear a C5's differential, I don't know exactly what date it is going to be yet, but the diff is going to need to have the 342s taken out and the 390s put in. The car is being completely redone at my buddy's shop's, Paul, Faster Automotive. They build Hondas, but everybody there is completely qualified to work on any car. They're very, very good people. They've done nothing but good work for me, and they do it at a price that nobody can beat. So anyway, go check them out. They're great people. Give them a look. Even though they only build Hondas for the most part, like that's their bread and butter. If they can work on my Corvette, we're good. But either way, they're going to be rebuilding the car. They're going to be tearing the whole thing, apart, doing an R&R on the trans. I'm going to get a new diff to them, but I need someone to put the new gears in. Now, they can do it, but it'd be great if there was someone else on deck helping them out that would be able to as well. I'm willing to pay someone to help out with Paul and all the other people working on the car at Faster Automotive to show up and help re-gear the car. If there's anybody that would be willing to do that, could take time out of the day to help, it would, it'd be a big help. That way the car would actually get to race. Because as of right now, like I said, it's like a 50-50 shot. Will it race? Probably. I just rather would have a bit more confidence than, because as of right now, what's going to end up happening is the car is going to be rebuilt while I'm in Vegas filming for Rob. I'm not going to see the car until the 27th. So anyway, that's that. If you know how to redo a rear end and you're in the DMV area, if you could please, for the love of God, I will happily pay you. Hit me up, Instagram, or you can hit me up through, jrb605business@gmail.com. I'll put the link, the description, like the information in the description as well. And the car would be at Faster Automotive. You'd be helping out Paul and all the other people working on the car. I'd give you the address and everything. So with that, that is the update on the C5. There's not much else I can update right now. There isn't much else to. There's still going to be some videos coming out where the C5 is, it's still running because they were recorded previously, so I'll release those. But regardless, we're trying. We're trying to get it fixed. We know we're trying to meet a deadline. So with that, let's get to today's video, which is about, well, me almost killing myself in my C4. So let's go. So this is a story that I really didn't have much intention of telling, but it's been sitting around for so long, and I decided, it's more of just a look back and, thank God nothing ever happened kind of moment. It's the story of how I almost totaled this car. Now, I've had many experiences where I've come close to damaging the car, or I've done very dumb things in this car. And a lot of it, I take a lot of it back, and some of it I'm like, that was a good learning experience. But this is one of those things where there was no reason for this. It's just really dumb teenager driving, and I'm glad, thankfully, nothing bad happened. As many of you guys know, this car was wrapped a long time ago, like back in March of some time. March 31st was the day, if I remember right, that we revealed the wrap. But the day after that, if I'm not mistaken, or was it a couple days after, Jeffrey's Lambo, the bike, and then my C4, they all went to a car show, like Sterling Motor Cars or whatever it was, in Virginia. And we decided we were going to take the cars there and, all park them next to each other, look cool. And we made quite a scene. A lot of people were coming to look at the cars, and it was very fun. Now, one of the things I never made a video on, and, I didn't think was worth making a video on just because of how ridiculous it was was when I came to Jeffrey's place, which was his warehouse. We were all meeting there first. He had a bunch of people, you know, just like a little pre-meet, so to speak. Well, we showed up, me and Joe, because we both cruised there. And Joe was behind me the whole time, and one of the things that happened on the way there, I mean, we were mobbing. I'm not even gonna fake. Like, we were mobbing. We were weaving in and out of traffic, you know, we're just doing dumb shit people do, you know, when they have nice cars. And one of the things that, it was wet outside at the time. You know, the roads were still wet. It was a little bit cold. I think it was like 65 degrees, but point being, it was wet outside. And at the time, this car had basically no tires on the back. The rear tires were, you know, close to shot. We really needed new tires on this car. And when you're weaving in and out of traffic, the last thing you want to do is break traction. Like, if you break traction while you're weaving, the car goes sideways. And going sideways on the highway isn't the best look. So one of the things that happened, which I never showed here on video and I never made a video about, was on the way there, when Joe was following me, I spun out on the highway. I was going probably about 70 or 80 miles an hour, I don't remember which. But what happened was there was a car in front of me. Now I was trying to pass this car that was right next to me, and when I weaved to go in front of the car, the other car in front of me swerved in front of me because they were changing lanes, I guess, as well. Well, I overcorrected. I swing the wheel the other way, the car spun, and well, it spun this way, so I went right, and you guys are seeing this backwards, but it went right and then left, and it spun, and I locked the brakes up. I grabbed the handbrake, I put the brakes on full throttle, but like, you know, full pressure, and the car spun on the highway, did a 360 on the highway at like 70 or 80 miles an hour, and it was... It scared the shit out of me. The minute that happened, the thought went through in my head, I just totaled this car. Because that's what I thought was going to happen. I thought I was going to hit another car, or I was going to hit the guardrail on the highway and just completely destroy this car. And this was right as, like, the day after I got the wrap on the car, or day of, if I remember right, when it was finished. You know, but it was nothing short of scary. I was very, very upset. And thankfully, like I said, I wish I had a GoPro playing when this happened, but I didn't. Nothing was recording. But I landed inches away from the left-hand side of the highway. And, you know, the car wasn't damaged. Nothing was damaged. The only thing that was damaged was my pride, and I was very pissed off about it. It was, once again, it was the scariest thing that had ever happened. And a whole bunch of cars were honking, everyone slowed down on the highway, and as soon as, when I landed, going at 360, I landed straight, I just gunned it right after that and got out of there as fast as possible because I was sure someone was going to call the cops. I mean, Joe and I, like, Joe has the loud-ass bike that, you know, is wrapped a million different colors, and then same with the Corvette, you know, both matching. It's not that hard to distinguish either of our, you know, vehicles. So I could have sworn someone had called the cops already. And, of course, the neon was on, because why wouldn't it be? And I figured the cops were going to come, so I just gunned it right out of there, and I was like, we got to get out of here. So we got to our exit as fast as possible. And that was the end of that. I never spoke of it again. A couple people, I told about it when I was at Jeffrey's place, and people were like, "Whoa, that's really cool." It's not cool. It's not at all. You know, I put myself at risk. I put my car at risk. I put everybody on the highway at risk. You know, it was nothing short of stupid. It's just no excuse for that kind of stuff. You should never be doing that stuff. Yeah, you want to drive fast, you go to a track. You should not be endangering other people on the highway. And, you know, I'm glad, once again, nothing did happen. But, you know, it definitely taught me a lesson. You know, I never wanted to do that kind of stuff again. Since then, I have not driven like that on the highway. No intention of it. Never want to drive like that on the highway. I was just driving way, way too fast. Driving way too aggressively. But anyway, if I haven't played already, here's the clip from Joe's GoPro, which, you know, has never been debuted anywhere. I specifically told him, send me that clip and then delete it off your computer. And he didn't delete it off his computer, thank God, or maybe he did, but it was still in his Google Drive, because I remembered that video recently, because I just completely forgot about it, and I asked him if he could share it with me again, and he did. You know, he sent it to me. I didn't think he had it anymore, but, you know, here is the clip of me almost wrecking the C4.
Oh shit, 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 oh god. Oh god. Jimbo. He's alright, right? Is that right? Oh my god, that was so close. That was so close. Oh god.
But yeah, there you have it. That's the untold story of me almost wrecking my C4. You know, there's nothing much else to say about it. You know, nothing much else to talk about. Besides the fact that it was absolutely retarded, and there is no, you know, rhyme or reason for any of this. You know, I didn't have to be going that fast. I shouldn't have been going that fast. And that's the kind of stuff that happens. I was this close from, you know, I was this close to turning into like a news article on like CNN or something like that, you know. So once again, you know, it's part of the learning experience. I'm glad no one got hurt in that experience. I'm glad the car didn't get hurt. But, you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, very stupid driving. So I know this was kind of a quicker video. I apologize for that. I usually like having longer ones just so you know, it's more of a like episode as opposed to just a quick little video. I just thought I had to share it because it was one of those things that's just on my mind that I just wanted to make a video on that I just never had. One of the other things related to the wrap, like early on, that I never showed was all the original cinematics of when this car was wrapped. You know, the car, the bike, the Lambo. They were all wrapped, and I recorded every single day it was being wrapped. And I never made a montage of it. You know, I have the footage, but I never made a video on it. So I'm gonna have to release that soon. You know, I just didn't want to rush it. I didn't want to throw it all together in one day because there was a lot of parts to it. I wanted to spend a little bit of time on it, not just a couple hours. So you will see that here soon. But other than that, yeah, the other video I'm going to be recording today is me talking about the day I almost died riding my bike. And there's been a couple close calls, but this was the closest I've ever been to actually killing myself on a bike. You know, if this had happened, I would have died. So that's another video for another day. I hope that it's just one more thing I look back on. I'm like, I'm glad I didn't die. I'm glad I'm going to be able to pass on information to my kids one day and say, please, for the love of God, do not do this. But thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video, obviously. There's plenty more good content coming. Not just me doing dumb stuff, but, you know, quality content, like the C5 getting repaired at some point, hopefully. Because I don't even know when that's going to happen. But with that, thank you guys for watching. All of y'all, please be careful.